You think your hummingbird just shows up randomly, but it's remembering every flower and feeder you've ever put out. You've seen it hover near the same spot every morning. You've heard it beat its wings like a tiny engine. Stay to the end, because we'll show you how it's mapping your yard in its mind. Number 1. Your hummingbird isn't just flitting from flower to flower, it's creating a mental map of your yard, complete with color, scent, and even how full a bloom is. Think of it like a tiny, feathery librarian who memorizes the exact location of every book on a shelf. These birds have been observed recognizing up to 20 different feeders in a single yard, a feat that rivals the navigational skills of some marine mammals. What this means for you is that your yard has become a personal museum of memory for these remarkable creatures, each visit adding a new chapter to their cognitive story. This spatial memory isn't just about finding food. It's a survival strategy, much like how bats and dolphins navigate through the dark. Hummingbirds use a type of memory that allows them to recall the exact placement of flowers and feeders, even if they're not visible. Imagine your yard as a hidden treasure map, and your hummingbird is the explorer who's memorized every landmark. This ability is not just a curiosity, it's an evolutionary edge that helps them thrive in complex environments where food can be scarce. Their brain is a tiny, powerful computer, constantly updating its database of resources, even months after their initial visit. What's even more astounding is that this memory remains sharp for months, a testament to their remarkable cognitive abilities. Studies from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology show that they can remember the quality and location of flower patches long after they've left. This means that your yard isn't just a stop on their journey, it's a place they return to, with a memory of every detail. But there's more to uncover about how they use this mental map, and how it shapes their daily lives in ways we're only beginning to understand. Number 2. Your backyard is more than just a place for birds to eat and rest. It's a memory palace for them, filled with visual clues they use to find food. Hummingbirds, for instance, don't just fly from flower to flower aimlessly. They remember the exact colors and shapes of the blooms they've visited before. This ability is crucial in a world where nectar can be scarce, and the difference between a full flower and an empty one can mean the difference between survival and starvation. Their vision is so finely tuned that they can detect shades of red that are separated by just a few nanometers, something far beyond human perception. This incredible sensitivity is not just a trait, it's a survival tool that guides them through the landscape with precision. What this means for you is that the plants you choose in your yard can be more than just pretty. They can become a beacon for these tiny, intelligent creatures. Imagine your yard as a visual map in the mind of a hummingbird, where each flower is a landmark with its own unique signature. These birds don't just rely on memory, they use color and shape as a kind of language to communicate with the environment. A 2019 study published in PNAS revealed that color is the primary cue hummingbirds use to locate nectar sources, even when other clues are absent. This means that if you plant flowers with vibrant, distinct colors, you're essentially sending out a welcome sign to these tiny aviators. Their ability to detect even the slightest difference in a flower's fullness is a testament to the power of their visual acuity. This trait allows them to be efficient foragers, reducing the time they spend searching and increasing their chances of survival. In the world of hummingbirds, color is more than just a feature, it's a lifeline. Their ability to distinguish between flowers that look the same to us but differ by a few nanometers in color is a marvel of evolution. This doesn't mean they're only focused on color, the shape of a flower plays a role too, guiding them to the right spots with a kind of visual intuition. The next time you're planting a garden, think about how your choices might influence these tiny, detail-oriented visitors. What you plant could become a vital part of their daily journey, shaping their feeding patterns and even their migration routes. As you continue to explore the secrets of your backyard, you'll find that the colors and shapes you see are just the beginning of a much deeper story. Number 3. The way hummingbirds interact with feeders is a fascinating example of memory in the wild. Once they find a reliable source of nectar, they don't just stick around. They remember exactly where it is and even how rich the sugar water is. This memory helps them conserve energy by returning to the best options again and again. A study in the Journal of Experimental Biology found that hummingbirds can recall feeders with high sugar concentrations for up to 24 hours, which is crucial for survival. Your yard becomes a familiar landscape to them, and they treat it like a well-mapped territory. What this means for you is that once you provide a consistent, high-quality feeder, they'll keep coming back, making your garden a regular stop on their daily flight path. Beyond just remembering the location, hummingbirds can tell the difference between feeders based on subtle cues. Color, shape, and even the type of nectar solution play a role in their decision-making. For instance, they have been known to prefer feeders that are bright red or orange, as these colors are highly visible to them. They can also detect the viscosity and sugar content of the nectar, which means they're not just attracted to any feeder, but the best ones. This ability to distinguish between options helps them maximize their energy intake in a highly competitive environment. Your yard may have multiple feeders, but they'll consistently pick the one that offers the most benefit to them. What's even more impressive is their ability to return to the same feeder every day, even when it's been moved slightly. This shows a remarkable level of spatial memory that's rarely seen in such small creatures. They don't just rely on sight. They use a combination of visual cues, scent, and even the sound of other birds. Their persistence in returning to a familiar spot can be both a blessing and a challenge for you as a feeder owner. You may find them sticking to one feeder despite others being available, which can sometimes lead to competition. But this behavior also means that once they've found your yard, they're likely to be a regular visitor for weeks to come, setting the stage for the next part of their story. Number 4. Mental maps and navigation. Did you know that the hummingbirds in your yard are essentially cartographers, creating detailed mental maps of their surroundings? These tiny birds use a combination of landmarks, such as flower colors, tree shapes, and even the angle of sunlight, to build a cognitive blueprint of your yard. This ability allows them to return to the same feeder day after day, even after being away for several days. It's as if they've memorized every corner of your backyard like a human memorizes the layout of their city. This is not just instinct, it's a complex, brain-driven process. What this means for you is that your yard is being studied and mapped by these tiny, intelligent creatures every single day. Inside their tiny brains lies a powerhouse of spatial memory. Hummingbirds have a hippocampus part of the brain responsible for memory and navigation that is roughly twice the size of the same region in non-navigational birds. This increased brain capacity allows them to remember not just the location of food sources, but also the precise timing of when flowers bloom and when nectar is most abundant. Their neural architecture is tuned to track seasonal changes and environmental cues with incredible accuracy. This advanced memory system means your hummingbirds are not only finding food, but also predicting when it will be available. It's a kind of ecological foresight that's rare in the animal kingdom. Imagine having a brain that can map and remember an entire is most abundant. Their neural architecture is tuned to track seasonal changes and environmental. But how do they manage to keep such precise mental maps without getting lost in the chaos of the outside world? The answer lies in their ability to integrate multiple sensory inputs, sight, smell, and even the Earth's magnetic field into one seamless navigational experience. This multisensory approach helps them recalibrate their maps in real time, even when their environment changes. The next time you see a hummingbird darting through your yard, consider that it's not just searching for food, it's performing a complex cognitive task that rivals some of the most advanced memory systems in the animal world. What might they be mapping next? The clues are all around you, waiting to be discovered. Number 5, and this is where memory becomes something more than just storage, it becomes a tool for learning. In your yard, hummingbirds are not just recalling where flowers bloom, they're actively figuring out what works and what doesn't. When a feeder is cleaned, they notice and they remember. This isn't just memory, it's a form of reasoning that helps them navigate the ever-changing world of your backyard. What makes this even more remarkable is their ability to connect colors with outcomes. If a red feeder is always full, they'll gravitate toward it. If a blue one is often empty, they'll avoid it. This color association is a form of learning that helps them conserve energy and maximize their foraging efficiency. It's like they're creating a mental map, updating it in real time based on the feedback from their environment. This adaptability means that your hummingbirds are not stuck in rigid routines. A 2021 study from the University of Arizona found that when the landscape shifts, they adjust their memory strategies accordingly. What this means for you is that your yard is more than just a place for feeding. It's a dynamic classroom where these tiny birds are constantly evolving. And as you watch them, you might begin to see the story of learning unfold right before your eyes. Number 6. Memory and survival. This is where the true power of a hummingbird's mind comes into play. Every time they dart from flower to flower, they're not just feeding, they're building a map of their world. This mental atlas guides them to the richest nectar sources, even during times when food is scarce. Hummingbirds can remember where flowers bloom for weeks, sometimes even months, which gives them a distinct edge in their environment. What this means for you is that if you provide a consistent nectar source, your backyard becomes a hotspot for these tiny explorers. Their memory is not just a clever trick, it's a lifeline. This memory system is so finely tuned that a hummingbird can recognize a flower even if it's been weeks since they last visited. They don't just memorize locations, they remember the timing of blooming cycles, ensuring they never waste energy on a flower that's out of season. This is especially crucial in unpredictable weather, where a sudden frost or drought can turn a food source into a dead end. Their brain works like a highly efficient GPS, constantly updating and refining their routes. This ability to adapt on the fly is what keeps them thriving in a constantly changing world. And it all starts with the simple act of sipping nectar from the flowers in your yard. The connection between memory and survival goes deeper than just food. Scientists believe that this remarkable ability is closely tied to their metabolism, which is one of the highest in the animal kingdom. To fuel their constant movement and energy demands, they must consume nectar at a staggering rate. This requires not only speed in finding food, but also precision in remembering where it can be found. What this means is that your yard, with its carefully chosen plants, becomes a sanctuary for these tiny memory masters. But there's more to uncover about how they navigate their world. Next, we'll explore the fascinating role of their senses in guiding them through the day. You watch as the hummingbird hovers, suspended in a moment of pure connection, its wings a blur of devotion and memory. It's not just surviving, it's remembering. Every bloom you've planted, every drop of nectar you've poured, every heartwarming moment you've shared with nature, it all lives on in this tiny, determined creature. You realize that your backyard is more than a place, it's a love letter to the world, written in feathers and flowers. And in that moment you feel seen, not just by the bird, but by the universe itself. As the hummingbird dips and dances, you feel a quiet awe swelling in your chest. This is more than a visit. It's a sacred exchange, a reminder that your small acts of kindness ripple outward in ways you'll never fully understand. You begin to see your yard not as a space you own, but as a sanctuary you've helped create, a place where life and love intertwine. In this moment, you're not just a gardener, you're a guardian of wonder, and the hummingbird is your silent, shimmering witness. Now that you know how your hummingbird is mapping your yard, we want to hear your story. What's the most amazing thing you've ever seen your feathered visitors do? Share your story in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more backyard bird secrets. I'll see you in the next one.